Skyguard. This track is fun. I really like the current version of this track, specifically because of what it does to the trick ramps. Um, there was a previous version of this track that was a lot more faithful to the original Sky Garden in the GBA version and the DS port as well. But this one, you see, it takes the what was originally just a small little jump ramp, and it turns it into one of these single flip trick ramps, which I really appreciate because it keeps the pace of the race going. You know, it always feels like whenever you get one of those slow, like, yellow ramps that you would have to low trick to get some sort of appreciable gain off of, it makes it feel like the game's really slowing down. And that's not something I'm usually that much of a fan of, you know. Like, Bowser's Castle 3, some of the SNES Bowser Castles, it's a little bit awkward to handle. But this one actually feels really good. The pacing here feels very good. Gonna throw that, that's fine. Ah, what has he done? Oh, he tried to... It looks like he tried to go for some crazy shit, dude. Wow. He went for it all. I respect it. And also, so there's two very small things that make this track a lot more enjoyable. The ramps, like I said, and the adding of texture to the road. You'll notice that the road has a very slight sort of pipe curve effect, where it's like the middle of the road is slightly lower than the edges. You know, it's a little bit curved. You get that texture, and then the off-road also feels textured. You can see it's physically raised above the normal road, and it actually does kind of feel like clouds a little bit. You know, it's like a mixture between dirt and clouds. You feel like you're actually in this garden in the sky. You know, the road is like the tile in the garden. You have the beanstalks, you got the clouds, and it feels nice and textured. The ramps keep up the speed. You know, you never feel like you're getting slowed down by the intended route of the track. Very good track, very good port. I actually... It used to be the case when most of the GBA tracks were like the Chaos Shadow 23 ports, who, by the way, ton of respect for, amazing ports, super high quality. I didn't like them as much, just because they were so faithful to the GBA originals. And you know, they were incredibly well modeled and all that, but there were some flaws in the inherent design of the GBA tracks that prevented me from enjoying them very much. But when you started getting these newer, what looked to me like ZPL ports, you know, the Sky Garden one, the GBA Boo Lake port, which I've gone on record saying might be actually my favorite custom track in the whole pack. When you start getting ports like that take a few creative liberties, but generally make the track very clearly a port of the GBA version, and, you know, feels faithful, but also like it's been updated to accommodate Mario Kart Wii mechanics, I think that's when the tracks really have an opportunity to shine and provide like some of the best racing experience in the whole game. Because the two things that I mentioned about the Sky Garden that made it really good, that textured feeling and the fact that it had those much faster ramps to make the races feel active, are also present in the GBA Boo Lake port. You know, the track has much more elevation changes. There's a lot more scenery in the track, and there are more trick ramps, and they're not, you know, none of the trick ramps are the really slow trick boost ramps. There are a few boost panels. There are some alternate routes. It's much more of an overhaul, but I think there are some critical ways in which it plays it safe that really play to its benefit, because it's still recognizable as Boo Lake. you get the nostalgia of the track for all the people who played the GBA version when that was like the Mario Kart of the day, and you get the fun experience that you're racing something genuinely new in Mario Kart that you would want to get from a custom track in this distribution pack. So massive props to the people who made those ports, and of course massive props to Chaos Shadow 23. As much as I spoke a little bit critically of his ports, props to him for setting the bar so high that he basically was able to create flawless ports of the tracks that looked like they could have been Nintendo's ports. Bowser's Castle 2 and 4, the GBA versions by Chaos Shadow 23, were basically indistinguishable from what the team at Nintendo would have probably decided to take the tracks in a certain direction if they had ported them themselves. You know? It's a remarkable interpretation of the same. There's a remarkable like breadth of interpretation of like the same source material. Even something as small as a single racetrack from a single racing game. And I really like it.